Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading for Tuesday the 15th of October. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I just want to say a couple of things too. I'm still asking for articles around your own spiritual experiences, how you first started to awaken, what sort of things you did, what were maybe the events that led to that. But sort of I want to be able to share those experiences with other people. So if you're happy to tell your story, I'd be more than happy to look at putting it in my newsletter. Just a few catch-up things. 20th October, this Sunday, we have a Facebook Live and I'll draw cards for people there. I usually go for an hour and a half, so hour and a half. I can't remember what time I said I'd start, but that would be Australian time, either 9 or 10 Australian time. 27th of October, following Sunday, I'm at Merewether, Newcastle. 2nd of November, I'm at Goulburn. 9th of November, I'm at Bathurst for an evening psychic night, and the 23rd of November, I'm at Orange, and I think that pulls up all my fares for the rest of the year then. So if you'd like a personal reading, you can contact me. All my details will be in at the bottom of the weekly videos. I don't always get to do it after the daily ones. So all right, let's see what's happening in the world today. What are the general energies? Tuesday the 15th. Okay, so I have the Four of Swords coming out. And the Four of Swords talks about taking time out after some sort of experience or heartbreak, meditating on things, and really taking time out to look at the direction you want to go in. The swords represent your thinking, your ideas, and it looks like you're taking time out to keep your mind quiet. When you take the Four of Swords, it's like going into deep meditation, sort of getting away from the world. We do have a Page of Pentacles behind that. So the Page of Pentacles is, and I did study, yes, is related to, can be related to finances, education, work. So this is often a message or something from someone just to alert you to something in regards to those things. Some of you look like you're worried about money or worried about finances, worried about education at the moment, and are waiting for some sort of news to come in here. Yeah, something's really burdening you here. So coming to the end of a cycle of worrying about these things. I do have the Four of Pentacles as well, which says to me you're letting go of the fear of worrying about things. Maybe you're starting to understand how your mind gets trapped, you know, in those swords or in that thinking, repetitive thinking. Some of you are understanding how to let that go here. And it's due to some sort of message you've received or some sort of notification you're receiving here. Okay, so the first card I have is the Justice card. Now, the Justice card is about the universe understanding that something has to be put right. Something's out of balance in the universe. And that's sort of what karma is about. People sort of think of karma as being, you know, karma will get you, you know, that because that something bad has happened. But it doesn't necessarily come back in that sort of form either. But karma is, it's a natural justice. It's trying to put things right that haven't been right, or, you know, somebody may have disrupted the natural flow of things by not doing what they really should have done under those circumstances. So the universe has a way of trying to put that right. Now, it may not come back in the shape or form as it initially was done, but it still helps to balance things back out again. And it looks like the universe is looking for some balance here, some justice for you. Okay, and it's to do with a conversation around someone. So somebody wants to talk to you about something. They do have the sword raised high, although this is only a page, so it is only a message. But this person is ready to talk now. It may have been that they haven't been ready to talk in the past, but they certainly are ready to speak their truth now. Sword to the ready. And something here brings around a great sense of relief or a great sense of understanding. A sense that helps you put your own self-life situation back in order again. It's sort of like nice feeling to have everything back where it should have been here. And there's then some sort of decision coming in about this. So the decision is the Two of Swords decision, which often looks like a stalemate because you don't want to make this decision. You know it can bring around heartbreak, or that you may have to cut someone out of your life. The sword crosses the moon here, so that says that there's like information that needs to come to hand to help you make this decision. But this woman's got her heart tightly protected, so she knows that whatever decision, whatever way she goes is going to hurt. So she's stopped. She's waiting for more information. Okay, so many of you may be dealing with an earth sign. This is a person who's very grounded, quite sensible, but definitely really able to, see things clearly, make good decisions, very strategic, very, can sometimes be a bit preoccupied with their money. But it's more, not so much with their money, it's more with their material situation. So they may be much more focused on, making a security for themselves. And then we have the King of Cups coming in here. Now, the King of Cups can be representative of the water signs, Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio, but it's more likely that this person here has understood the emotion behind a situation, or why they've acted in a certain way, why they've responded the way they have, and they're becoming more grounded in the way they think here, sort of understanding more about how they present. This is the person here that's coming in to speak a truth. Okay, they're coming back as an emperor though, so they have definitely done the work here because they've got this much more grounded, balanced approach to things. So whoever this is coming in has really thought about what has happened and how it's happened, and they're really presenting in a much more balanced and unemotional way. They're understanding how their emotions may have affected things in the past, because they're now coming out as the king, which means that they've got things a little bit more under control for them. We do have the Death card coming in, so some sort of transformation occurring as a result of this, or perhaps this person has had a huge transformation themselves, but there's an energy here of both parties have done some work, or sort of some changing of themselves here, because it feels to me like both people are coming together more grounded than before. So something's happened to somebody previously here, and this person's trying to set the record straight. Okay, but for some unknown reason you don't trust this energy. You're a bit tied up into your own fear here, especially with the Two of Swords here as well. Both cards show people blindfolded. So it could be that both of you are finding this situation very difficult, this, conversation very difficult. Because both of you are not seeing things from the other person's perspective. You're both stuck in your own perspective here. You're both being very defensive energy. Okay, but there's a good turnout because there sort of feels like there's this mutual understanding here and some sort of investment for the future. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a love situation. There are two people here who have been on the different pages, and it could be that you've had some sort of disagreement with this person in the past. Maybe you haven't seen eye to eye. To me it feels like one person isn't considering the other person's emotions, and perhaps one person is a little bit more sort of controlling. But it's like you've gone apart, you've done some healing here, you've gone through your own transformation, you're coming back together to talk about what's happened, but both of you are quite defensive. One is trapped in their own thinking, so they're unable to see the other person's point of view, and the other person was trapped by the hurt or the pain they felt before, and they're closed down or being defensive. But I want to say to you, this situation is here because the universe wants to set the record straight. They want to make sure that you're no longer on this sort of uncomfortable path where you're maybe not talking. You might not have talked to this person for a while. There seems to be an energy of separation here, but it is coming back together. There is a truth that needs to be shared rather than told. So it's like opening the communication up here so you can both talk about what went down and how it affected you. And it could have been to do with money, it could be to do with work, so it could be a work situation, a money situation, it could be a relationship situation, it could have been around the stability of what was being built in a relationship that didn't go down well. But I want to say to you that the cycle is closing out here, and people are understanding the energy of being able to let things go, because what I feel happened here is that you've either, you know, had this clash, argument, disagreement, whatever it was, and you've separated. And instead of talking about it, you've got two people who've gone off completely different directions and been in their head about the whole thing and closed it down. And there's a great call here to look at things from the other person's perspective, which we should do anyway as human beings. But when we're emotional, we tend to go straight to the emotion of it all and close ourselves down because of it. And that sort of especially in a situation where love needed to be shown, you're closing down those parts of you that are open to loving because of the hurt and pain. But this person's done a lot of work as well. So if you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, this person's been doing exactly the same thing, which is really nice because they're coming back with a different viewpoint. They understand how the emotion got into it. They understand that they, you know, maybe either they weren't perhaps grounded in the whole situation. You could be dealing with the Taurus, Scorpio or Libra here as well. Those three signs dominant, water sign. But definitely someone who may have been over-emotional before and overreacted to something that happened. We've got two cards coming out here. Okay, so the first card I've got is the card of why. I sound like a 5-year-old child, which is card 31. Why? Okay, the why essential meaning talks about motives, driving intention, and the power of knowing the why. So the Oracle's message is, there is great power in understanding your motives right now. The Oracle asks that you be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you're clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience, and when you think about something, feel it and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings to it life and holds the potential for growth. I just read the first paragraph. In the relationship meaning here, it says, we don't always know why we engage in our relationships in the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. And it says, now is the time to recognize whether you're being triggered by someone else or your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues in the past. That's very interesting. Now, the second card that came out is a change in the wind, which is card number 12. So I think this is quite interesting. I love the way the Oracle cards come out like they do. Now, the essential meaning is a sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty which direction the winds will blow. Because there's no outcome here. It looks like there is a good outcome, but it really doesn't talk about whether you've both resolved your problems. It just looks like there's a really good conversation going on. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and to resist change, to want the world to remain constant like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outlet conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds and nourish the soul for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming on the shifted winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. Very nice, people. Have a great Tuesday.